more abduction stories in Roswell, New Mexico, other than by aliens.
I could hear bullets hitting all around me, like as close as that is, and just like splats of dirt.
Love for Travel TV visits Roswell, New Mexico, where fiction and reality converge.
Also in the show, we'll explore the Bottomless Lake State Park and take a stroll through the historic streets of Lincoln, New Mexico.
All right, we finally made it to Roswell, New Mexico.
First time, and I know nothing about the incident and, everything else that supposedly happened here. So you guys are going to learn all about it with me, and we're just going to dig in. Let's unpack this.
Yeah, I mean, check that UFO that crashed into there. That is so cool. Babe. Oh, sorry.
Oh man, I can see how this is gonna go. Jeez. Our first stop at Roswell was at the visitor center to gather intelligence. Hey, if I'm lucky, you get abducted. Oh no, where did he go? We made new friends and purchased special investigative glasses.
The Visitor Center staff recommended that we start our tour at the International UFO Museum and Research Center.
How's it going?
Proceed to probing station.
Excuse me?
Mike and Deb here.
Love for Travel TV.
We're about ready to learn all about the Roswell UFO Incident.
Let's go check this out.
During a violent thunderstorm in 1947, a UFO was reported to have crashed on a ranch north of Roswell. On July 8th, the Roswell Daily Record featured a story on the front page that forever changed this little town.
An intelligence officer of the 509th Bombardment Group announced that the unit was in possession of a flying saucer.
Then the Army quickly retracted the report, stating the object was merely a weather balloon. Years later, in a 1978 interview, retired Lieutenant Colonel Jesse Marcel revealed that the Army's weather balloon statement was a cover-up and that the debris might have been extraterrestrial.
Over the years, more individuals have come forward with conflicting stories that have sparked a multitude of conspiracy theories and debates that persist today. The UFO Museum's research library houses more than 7,000 books and over 30,000 magazines, periodicals, pamphlets, and more than 1,500 DVDs related to the UFO phenomenon.
From there, we continued our journey for more alien exploration just around the corner at the Roswell UFO Spacewalk and Gallery. For an entry fee of $5, we had an out-of-this-world blacklight experience.
Body scan complete. Proceed to probing station.
Mike, be careful!
I don't want to go to the probing station.
This way, humanoids. Earthlings, continue to your doom.
Next on our walking tour, just a block down Main Street, was the Alien Zone Area 51. For another $5, we had an hour of giggles as we immersed ourselves into the real-life scenes of Area 51. Whoa! Didn't know you were coming around. Can I get out now?
No.
He's probed me twice. Whoa.
It's for you.
You have one phone call.
Mommy.
Hello? Room service? We need a couple of alien autopsies.
Literally. They've created scenes that you can insert yourself for photo fun.
You well done?
Maybe we had too many giggles.
Everywhere you look, businesses in Roswell embrace the alien culture from City Hall to McDonald's.
Stay with us as we hear about a real-life account of an abduction. We can't make this up. Whether you believe or not, we can tell you that Roswell, New Mexico was a blast. And there's no shortage of selfie spots. All the fun alien antics made us hungry, so we stopped for a late lunch at Farley's. Mike, always being the mayor, struck up a conversation with the ladies next to us, when one of them told us the most incredulous story. We asked her if she would share it with us on our show. We agreed to meet in the sleepy town of Lincoln, New Mexico, a 45-minute drive northwest of Roswell.
In the early 1870s, Lincoln wasn't so sleepy. In fact, Lincoln County was the largest county in the nation. It was also the epicenter of the Lincoln County War, a bloody conflict between the rival cattle barons in the 19th century.
Lincoln is also known as the place where the infamous outlaw, Henry McCarty, aka Billy the Kid, was shot dead by Sheriff Pat Garrett after escaping from jail. The town has preserved many of the historic homes, shops, churches, and landmarks that represent the Wild, Wild West.
Stay with us to the end for bonus scenes and a special guest.
At age 53, Kristen Higginbotham agreed to sit down with us and tell us her terrifying story of when she was kidnapped at age 6.
It was the last day of first grade, and I was really excited because my best friend was finally going to get to sleep over. And so she came home with me, and it was pretty warm. It was May 26th, and we went to the end of the street to get a snow cone because there was this little snow cone shack. We got there and it was closed. And so we walked back, and when we walked into the house, there was a guy behind my stepfather who was walking through the kitchen into our dining room, and he had a sawed-off shotgun to his head, and my stepfather was like this. And then my mom came in after him, and there was another guy that had a pistol to her head. And I had no idea what was happening. And my mom just had this look of horror on her face. And so they took us into the room that was my room and held us at gunpoint, me, my best friend, my mom, and my stepdad.
It turns out the two gunmen were Charles Davis and Harold Scott, former employees of Kristen's stepdad, and who were demanding money from him.
My stepfather agreed to give them money, and he kept saying, why don't you let them go? This is with me. This has nothing to do with them. And they're like, no, we're not letting them go. So they took us out, put my mom, my friend, and I into a truck, and the other guy and my stepdad went to the bank. Once they got the money, they took us out to the Bottomless Lakes.
The Bottomless Lakes State Park is located 14 miles outside of Roswell. Devil's Ink Well, where the gunmen took the family, is named for its steep sides and dark water.
And it was pretty quiet out there, and they found this place, and they pulled off the side of the road, and my stepfather was like trying to bargain and keep us from being killed. As we were out there, some of our friends who had been in town visiting saw us and stopped and came over. And so now there's 2 other people that are being drug into this. One was shot 5 times, and the other was shot 3 times. And I could see the bullet holes in the back of his vest and the blood. And then Rhea was conscious, but yeah. Everybody was pleading, and I heard shots fired, and my mom just went like this and took my friend and myself down and her, and my stepfather fell off into the lake. They backed him up off the cliff when they started shooting, and he fell off into the lake, and I could hear bullets hitting all around me, like as close as that is, and just like splats of dirt.
At this point, not knowing who was alive or dead, the gunmen fled the scene.
And they ran off, got in the truck, and took off. One of them, I guess he was like a really well-to-do high school football star, and everybody was shocked when this happened, but he killed himself in the car. Oh. And the police caught the other one. And my mom ran over to our friends, got their keys, and put us in the car, down on the floorboard of the car, and took us to the Bottomless Lakes where the whole concession stand and the swimming area is, and called the police, called my grandfather. My grandfather got there before the police. And it was, that's what I remember. But yeah, it was a little traumatic.
So your stepdad, he fell off the cliff.
Yeah, he had climbed back up by the time, because once the police came, we went back. My mom was freaking out, and he had climbed back up, but we didn't know if he was alive or dead. We didn't know if our friends Rhea and Bob were dead. And the ambulance came and took them. Neither of them died. No one died except for the guy that shot at us.
Within a couple months, Kristen's family moved away from Roswell and never talked about the kidnapping again.
I had nightmares. I couldn't sleep in that room. It was awful. And I'm glad we moved, but I was thinking, I'm like, why did they not take me to counseling? Why did they not, why didn't we talk about it?
Never talked about it?
Mm-mm.
As a family?
As a family, no.
Really?
Yeah. It was like, oh, it happened, but we're just going to brush it under the rug and move on.
10 years ago, Kristen Googled Bottomless Lakes and kidnapping, looking for answers of what really happened that day. She pushed her family for more details.
What was this all about? Was it really about being fired and wanting retribution for that? Or was there something deeper? Was there something more sinister?
Do you think one day your mom's going to tell you?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
No, but I'll keep digging till I find out, because I'm nosy like that. I'm curious.
Do you ever look back and say, I probably should have died that day?
Oh, all the time. All the time. I'm like, how in the world did I not die? Or how did I not get hurt? But yeah, that was my experience on the last day of school of first grade.
Court records show that the remaining gunman, Charles B. Davis, was convicted of kidnapping, extortion, aggravated battery, and aggravated assault. Kristen and her best friend never spoke of the incident again.
Take us to deep space. What's good around here? Oh, babies. I know they're covering something up. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. You just...
Let me tell you a story about Bottomless lakes now. Story had it they put dye on one of these lakes many years ago, 30, 40, 50 years ago. Mm-hmm. They said that dye turned up about 2 or 3 weeks later, turned up in a lake over in China, so we think it goes straight through.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
So it does go to, if I dig and dig and dig and dig, I'll get to China?
You might end up in China.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you a question. If it didn't have a bottom, wouldn't all the water run out? Did I tell you a story about the cowboy and the horse and the rider?
No, you have not.
Horse and the rider went off of one of these cliffs years ago.
Uh-huh.
I don't know which one it was now, but he turned up about 3 days later in Carlsbad Caverns and he was still riding a horse.
We hope you enjoyed our show on Roswell and hearing the stories of people we've met along the road.
In our next episode, we'll take you on a journey through Chaco Canyon, New Mexico.
Until next time.
Safe travels.